Hi guys, it's me again. I'm Sir John. Today, I will teach you how to factor polynomial that is a perfect square trinomial. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more math lessons. In this video, I will show you the step-by-step process in factoring perfect square trinomial in an easy way. But the question is, how are we going to know that a trinomial is a perfect square trinomial? If a trinomial is perfect square, the first and last terms are perfect squares, and the middle term, whether positive or negative, is twice the product of the square roots of the first and last terms. It may be represented in the form a squared plus or minus 2ab plus b squared. Let's take it slowly. If a trinomial is perfect square, the first and last terms are perfect squares, meaning to say that the first and last term of the trinomial must have square roots. Get it? And the middle term, whether positive or negative, is twice the product of the square roots of the first and last terms. Meaning to say, after taking the square root of the first term and the square root of the last term, multiply the two square roots and multiply it again by 2, and if it is the same with the middle term, then you can say that the trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. Let's apply. Is x squared plus 14x plus 49 a perfect square trinomial? First, we will find the square root of the first term. The square root of x squared is x. Next, let's find the square root of the last term. And the square root of 49 is 7. Next step, we will multiply the square roots. X times 7 is 7x. Then we will multiply it by 2. And the product is 14x. Since the product is equal to the middle term of the trinomial, then we could say that x squared plus 14x plus 49 is a perfect square trinomial. Now that you know how to identify that a given trinomial is a perfect square trinomial, I guess you are ready to proceed on how to factor a perfect square trinomial. How do we factor a perfect square trinomial? To factor a perfect square trinomial, get the square root of the first and last term. The sign of the middle term of the trinomial determines the sign of the binomial factor. Since factors are identical, express the square of the binomial factor. Let's have an example. Factor x squared plus 6x plus 9. First, we need to take the square root of the first term. The square root of x squared is x. Next, we will take the square root of the last term. The square root of 9 is 3. Let's check if this trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. We will multiply x and 3. The answer is 3x. and we will multiply it by 2. 2 times 3x is equal to 6x, which is equal to the middle term of our trinomial. Then we could say that this trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. So let's factor it. The square root x and 3 must be written in a binomial factor. X will be the first term of the binomial factor, and 3 will be the last term of the binomial factor. Since it is positive 6x, we will carry the sign to our binomial factor, positive. After that, we will take the square of the binomial factor. Therefore, the factored form of x squared plus 6x plus 9 is the square of x plus 3. Another example. Factor a squared minus 12a plus 36. Again, we need to know if this trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. First, we need to take the square root of the first term. The square root of a squared is a. Next, we will take the square root of the last term. The square root of 36 is 6. We will multiply the square roots. A times 6 is 6a. Then we will multiply it by 2. 2 times 6a is 12a, which is also equal to our middle term. So we could say that this trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. So let's continue to factor this. We have binomial factor. The square root a will be in the first term of the binomial factor. The square root 6 will be the last term of the binomial factor. Since the sign of the middle term of our trinomial is negative, so our operation in the binomial factor is subtraction. And then we will take the square of the binomial factor. Therefore, the factored form of a squared minus 12a plus 36 is the square of the quantity a minus 6. How about this? Factor 4y squared minus 12y plus 9. Again, we will try to examine if this trinomial is a perfect square trinomial. We will take the square root of the first term. The square root of 4y squared is 2y. Let's take the square root of the last term. The square root of 9 is 3. We will multiply the two square roots. 2y times 3 is equal to 6y. Then we will multiply it by 2. 2 times 6y is 12y. And it is the same with the middle term of the trinomial. Then we can say that this trinomial is also a perfect square trinomial. So let's continue. We will write 2y as our first term in the binomial factor. The square root of 3 will be the second term or the last term of the binomial factor. Then, since our middle term has a negative sign, we will take it to our binomial factor and take the square of the binomial factor, and that will be the factored form of our trinomial, which is the square of 2y minus 3. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Bye!